I never script any of my videos, but I want this intro to be scripted, so hopefully it sounds natural, and hopefully it doesn't sound weird. Hopefully it sounds okay, because I never script anything. I don't know, it'd probably be better if I scripted stuff, but, yeah, that's the perfect example of why, because I always say, but I like just talking and letting it happen. But okay. Hi, welcome to this new series of mine, where I, as the title says, discuss religious takeaways I've taken away from the cartoons I like. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm sure a lot of these takeaways were unintentional, but still, I'm a Christian, more specifically a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, so a lot of the stuff I'm going to talk about is going to be from that perspective. I'm not an official leader in my church or anything, but I would like to think I know at least a thing or two from actually being a part of my church. But keep in mind, me and these cartoons aren't the most reliable sources for this sort of stuff. If you want to learn more about what I talk about in these videos, look to the scriptures. They are the Word of God. You could also explore our church's website. I'll leave a link to it in the description. Anyway, anyone can watch these videos. Members of my church, members of other churches, people who aren't members of any church, even people who aren't religious at all. I want everyone to be here. And you can take anything away from these videos. Religious things, even just life lessons like being kind to others and not negatively judging others. Or you could just watch these videos to learn more about my church and our beliefs. Whatever the reason is, I'm glad you're here. Okay, I did it. I had to do multiple takes of that, but it's fine. But, I just re-listened to it and I said all of that really fast, but I mean, honestly, I talk fast just in general, but whatever, it's fine, it'll have to do, at least for this first video. Maybe I'll redo the intro in other ones, because I'm gonna have the same intro in every single video of this series. But anyway, so today, I want to talk about being like a little child. I want to quote some scriptures, actually, to start off. Because, like, there are scriptures about being like a little child, and I'm gonna share, like, two, but there are, literally, there are way more scriptures talking about being like a little child than I remember there being, than, like, I thought that there were. There are so many others, so I could include so many others in here, too. Like, the scriptures talk about it a lot, and, just, like, in church, we've talked about it, we talked a lot about it, too, and, like, honestly, if you're, like, a member of my church or Christian, or, like, even if you're not, you've probably heard that you need to be like a little child, too, at some point. I don't know, I feel like a lot of people have heard that. But anyway, so the first scripture that I want to quote is from the Bible, and it's Matthew 18, 1 through 4. At the same time came the disciples unto Jesus, saying, Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Jesus called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them, and said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted, and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. So that's the one from the Bible, and I also have one from the Book of Mormon, which is a book that is only in my religion, specifically for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and it's basically just another testament of Jesus Christ. It just is an extension of the Bible, and it talks about the same sort of stuff. It's just another testament of Jesus Christ. And the scripture here is Mosiah 3:19. And a lot of the chapters at the beginning of Mosiah talk about being like a little child. It's like a theme there. But anyway, and becometh as a child, submissive, meek, humble, patient, full of love, willing to submit to all things which the Lord seeth fit to inflict upon him. So there you go. Those are the two scriptures that I have that talk about being like a little child. And like I said, there are so many more. It's in the scriptures a lot. And the one I just read actually lists off, like, why you need to be like a little child, but, I don't know, it's always been, like, difficult for me to, understand this. I've always been like, okay, we need to be like a little child, like, I don't know, it's always just been kind of confusing for me. I've always, I don't know, like, when I, like, in the past, like, in, like, recent years, like, I'm gonna go into, like, why my view changed, but, like, for a while, I've just, wondered, like, why do we have to be like a little child? I must be smarter than a little child, right? You know? All that stuff. But then, like, literally, one of the things that, like, got me thinking more about it, and literally what changed my perspective on it, was this clip from Maddie and Marcy in Amphibia, when Maddie has not been a good older sister to her sisters, and literally, like, it got to the point where this whole disaster happened, and, like, she apologizes, and she says that she's sorry, and, like, these innocent little children, like, immediately, like, just say, like, it's okay. We, like, forgive you. Like, immediately, we forgive you. It's okay. And then, like, she's saying, like, you should be mad at me. And then they're like, we love you. And it's like children just have a specific, like, love. And, like, they're so willing to, like, forgive people and love people. And it's like, I feel like when you get older, you, like, begin to, like, hold grudges. And, like, you just, like, don't forgive people as easily as, like, children do. But children just always, like, see the good in people. And they just love people. And that's what Christ is like, too. He's so willing to forgive you if you make a mistake. If you just turn to him and apologize, he will forgive you. And it's just like little children. And, like, just the pure love that children have for people. Christ has that love for everyone, too. And, going along with forgiveness, though, I do want to point out, like, the difference between forgiving someone and staying in a bad situation. And, I want to quote President Nelson, who is the leader of our church, on the earth. He, like, because Christ isn't on the earth right now, right? Our church has President Nelson, and of course, the president of the church changes when the last president passes away, right? Basically, he is the, like, mouthpiece of the Lord. Like, he speaks for Jesus on the earth, because Jesus isn't like hear himself, so he speaks for him. But anyway, so there's a specific video that he made about forgiveness. Yeah, recently. Easter happened recently. Yeah, I think it was like this last Easter. So yeah, recently. Time goes by so fast. I never even know anymore. But, and he talked about forgiveness. I want to link this video in the description too, because it's a really good video. Once again, even if you're not religious, it's a really good video just about forgiveness. But anyway, so I'm going to quote it. This is what he said. Forgiving others does not mean condoning sinful or criminal behavior, and it certainly does not mean staying in abusive situations. But when we choose to forgive others, we allow the Lord to remove the poison from our souls. We permit him to soothe and soften our hearts so we can see others, especially those who have wronged us, as children of God and as our brothers and sisters. So, like, when the scriptures and when Christ say to be like a little child and, like, to forgive people and stuff, he's not saying to, like, stay in bad situations or anything like that. He's just saying, like, just to, like, forgive people. Even if you're not in a bad situation anymore, you can still forgive that person, and then you can just move on. And that's, like, a really powerful thing that can set you free. So, Maddie and Marcy got me thinking about being like a little child and why it's important, and that clip is really, really special to me because of that. And honestly, that episode is really special to me because of the whole, like, just being like a little child. Like, these 3 tadpoles have inspired me. These 3 animated circles have inspired me so much. No, but, and then I want to talk about Bluey also, because I haven't talked about Bluey, like, at all on this channel, but guess what? I like Bluey. It's, like, there's a lot I can talk about with Bluey, because, like, I'm pretty sure everyone watching this knows this and, like, has the same opinion as me, but even though it's a show, like, directed towards, like, really young kids or, like, new parents or, like, young parents or whatever, which I am neither of those things, but, I still love it, and, like, I think a lot of people have the same opinion as me, that it is a good show with, like, it's really inspiring, and it has really, like, changed my view on a lot of stuff for the better, despite the fact that it's directed towards people who are not my age. But it's okay, there are, like, 1,000 teenagers that like it, I'm sure. It's good, it's really good. Like, I can just make a video just talking about Bluey, but that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is being like a little child. No, but, I want to talk about Bluey now, and how, Bluey has, like, opened my eyes to being like a little child as well. So, this is another part that I have scripted because I like what I put, because I like what I said, because originally I was going to have this whole video scripted, but then I realized that I don't want to do that, and I kind of just want to talk. But, so I did take some parts of what I, originally wrote down that I liked, and this is, basically, it was just this, but still, okay, so, I wrote, it shows the wonder and appreciation little children have for the beautiful world around them that God has created for us, and how eager children are to learn and improve themselves. It also shows the willingness children have to comfort others and give sincere compliments. So, children are just like, they ask questions. They want to learn, and they want to improve themselves, too. They want to be better, which is something that, like, once again, I can say that, like, us older people, like, I'm not, like, I'm still fairly young, but I'm not a little child. But, you know, I don't know, I feel like we're just not as eager to improve ourselves, like, but, like, little children are so willing to, and, like I said, they just appreciate things more, like, the saying, like, stop and smell the roses, like, children do that, they just, like, it's not, like, all about, like, go, go, go in life, you know, they, like, know how to, like, I guess slow down and see stuff more, I think, I don't interact with that many children, but, like, you know. And also, like, just the willingness to comfort others and give sincere compliments. Like, sincere compliments. Like, they just, like, little children just, like, want to make people happy. Which is just, like, just so Christ-like. And, also service. Another thing that Bluey shows is, like, children just, like, want to serve others. They want to help others. They want to help. And they're just so willing to help. And I have a story to share about that. So, my mom used to be the primary president, which is basically, like, in my church. So, okay, so, I guess I have to explain some stuff. So, in our church, we're split up into wards, which are basically, like, the group that you go to church with and do activities with and stuff based on where you live, right? So, my mom was the primary president in my ward, she used to be, and basically what that means is she was over the little children, right? She was in charge of the little children, and, they did an activity outside of church, that she told me about, because I wasn't there, because, like I said earlier, I'm not a little child, in case you didn't know. Sometimes I act like it, but, still. And basically they were picking up garbage, and she told me that, like, they were just so excited to pick up garbage and just so, like, happy to pick up garbage. And it's just like, okay, what? They wanted to pick up garbage? You know, like, it's just, I feel like it seems like service and that sort of stuff, like, becomes more of a chore as you, like, grow up. But, like, little children are just, like, so happy and so willing to serve others, and they're just so happy to do it. And a few other, like, stories that she's told me is, like, whenever she asks, like, who wants to help her, like, hand out flyers, or who wants to, like, say the prayer or anything, like, they just, like, everyone raises their hands, and is, like, so eager to do it. And I was talking to my mom about how I was gonna say that in the YouTube video, because I was talking to my mom about this YouTube video, but, I was talking to her and telling her that I was gonna, like, share these stories and asking for her if it was okay if I did and stuff, and then, what I said is, like, when you, like, get older, like me, me and my group, which is, like, the young women, right, cause, like, sometimes at church, it switches every other week, but every week it switches, and, sometimes I'm with the young women, which are, like, the girls my age, and then, other times it's, with just, like, the people who are my age, but, like, the girls and the guys, right? But, anyway, I'm saying, like, in young women, whenever, like, they ask, okay, who wants to say the prayer, everyone, like, looks down, and, like, is all quiet and everything, and, like, sometimes people are pointing at each other, and the person who's pointing at the other person has to say it most of the time, and, like, it's just, like, children are just, like, so willing to pray, and, like, just so willing to, like, participate, and, like, to serve and stuff, and it's really inspiring, it's so inspiring, and so Christ-like. And now I want to take a minute to talk about everyone's favorite Bluey character, Jack. And I understand why he's everyone's favorite Bluey character. Even though I can't personally relate to him, I'm so happy that a lot of people can. And I'm so happy that the show is, like, showing, just, like, that people with ADHD or autism are people too, you know? And that, like, you should treat them with kindness and everything. And I'm so glad that the show is having that message. And I'm so glad people can relate to Jack, even though I can't personally. But I want to talk about Jack and Rusty. Everyone knows Jack and Rusty, the bros, the boys. But just like I said, Rusty is such an inspiration of, like, little children being Christ-like. He's such a good representation of that, because no matter who you are, no matter what you have going on in your life, we're all people, right? And Rusty sees Jack, and he doesn't, like, he's not mean to him. He doesn't see him as, like, quote-unquote different, you know? He sees him as just another kid, as a pretty awesome kid, and then he just becomes friends with him so easily, and so naturally, and he's just so kind. And I'm not saying that, like, when people get older, they're not kind to others, but honestly, I feel like children are just so much more willing to love others than you are when you're older. And this video isn't supposed to be, like, being mean to people who are older. I'm just saying, like, we can learn a lot from little children, and that's why the scriptures say to be like a little child. But Rusty is just showing Christ-like love to Jack, because Christ loves all of us. He knows all of us personally, and he loves all of us, no matter who we are or what we have going on in our life or whatever it is. Even if we're sinners, Christ loves us, and that's a powerful truth. Just, like, we need to just, like, not be mean to people. Like, just straight up, we just need to not be mean to people. And Jack and Rusty just being so kind to Jack is it's really cute and really motivational and uplifting. But also, children are just so social. Like, another story my mom has told me, like, when I was younger, I would say hi to, like, literally everyone. Before I got older, and I started overthinking everything, and I realized I was awkward, and honestly, I'm probably not even that awkward, but still, before I started overthinking everything, including talking to people, I used to, like, say hi to everyone. I mean, I'm still fairly social, I don't know, but, I feel like a lot of us can agree that we've seen children just be social, and, like, in Bluey, they're social to other people, too. Like, I love this part, in the Wagon Ride episode, where, they're, like, doing the train, and then, like, Bingo says, like, bye to, like, the one lady, and then she, like, waves back, and it's, like, the cutest thing ever. But, like, children are just so kind and just social to people, you know? They just don't overthink things. They just don't overthink things. They just live life, you know? And, the last thing I want to talk about is the innocence of children. Like, just children are like I said, they just live life. They don't overthink things. They love others. They are just innocent. They're just kind and innocent, and they want to help people. And it's just, I feel like that's why we need to be like a little child, is just the innocence that little children have. And, yeah, that's what my first video is like, I guess. This is definitely a different type of video, but honestly not really, though, because I talk about my church on here a lot, and I obviously talk about the shows I like on here a lot, too. And I want to share this different perspective of the shows that I watch, because I have a lot of religious things that I take away from shows, and I want to share my opinions with people. And yeah, so that was the first video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm horrible at outros, but, yeah, more of these will be coming. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.